deep within the stagnant, silt-heavy waters of the Australian Billabongs, a creature of immense power moves through the depths. This is the bunyip. It is an 8-foot-long mammalian predator with a thick, leathery, dark gray hide, textured with heavy folds and defensive osteoderms. Its anatomy is optimized for hunting. Bulging orange eyes pierce the murky water with forward-facing predatory focus, while 2 ivory tusks curve downward. The creature's limbs are massive, ending in 5-fingered paws. Heavy webbing allows for speed in the water, while sharp, dark claws dig through river mud. These precise features point to a highly specialized organism. The anatomy found in the marsh maps directly to a living creature, not a myth. To understand its history, we have to look to the oral traditions of the First Nations people near the Murray-Darling Basin. For generations, elders have warned of a water spirit that possessed the strength of a bull and the cunning of a crocodile. They recorded nocturnal standoffs with a beast that guarded the shallows, a creature described as a fusion of mammalian power and reptilian resilience. Early modern science often categorized these consistent, detailed warnings as folklore, dismissing the biological specifics embedded in the stories. The consistency of these accounts suggest a specific creature was being observed. They represent the first layer of evidence in a long, documented timeline. In the 1840s, European explorers encountered reports of a walrus-like beast in the inland swamps, one that emitted a resonant, low-frequency boom that could be felt in the earth. In 1845, a massive, robust fossilized skull was discovered in the banks of the Murrumbidgee River. Local guides immediately identified the find as a bunyip. The skull was dense, featuring a heavy jaw and 2 distinct sockets for large, downward-pointing tusks. This bone structure suggests an animal built to withstand the high hydrostatic pressure at the bottom of deep river pools, a trait that aligns with descriptions of the creature's habitat. The 1845 fossil gave the legend a physical weight. It provided the tangible evidence needed to start treating the bunyip as a subject of biology. By the 1870s, the creature was being seen in the wild. A lone hunter in Victoria reported a massive shape rising from a flooded marsh at night. He described a beast that let out a low-frequency boom, skin like a hippopotamus, and glowing orange eyes that reflected his torchlight. The eyes were positioned for forward-facing predatory focus, locking onto the hunter as the creature lunged. Its massive webbed paws tore through the thick reeds with effortless power as it moved toward the muddy shore. The hunter noted the creature's thick, muscular neck and armored folds of skin along its back, a hide that appeared nearly bulletproof. This encounter placed a living predator in the deep swamps, demonstrating that the bunyip was far more than a fossilized record. For nearly a century, the beast was treated as a myth, but modern urban expansion is now uncovering ancient riverbeds and forgotten habitats. Industrial construction is draining these areas, destroying the subterranean pressure pools where the creature has lived for thousands of years. The dormancy of the myth is breaking because the environment itself is changing. As we excavate and build, we are forcing these animals out of the shadows and into the modern world. This is the result: an 8-foot titan exposed, walking through the mud of a drained trench under the glare of industrial spotlights. Its primordial biology is now clashing with a sterile, concrete environment. A creature of the deep marsh forced to navigate a city of stone. This sighting transitions the bunyip from folklore into the realm of modern biology. It is a tangible creature with a documented physical history. As we continue to uncover the earth, we are discovering that the creatures of the deep pools never really left. We are simply meeting them again.
For centuries, the bunyip was filed away as a ghost of the dreamtime. For decades, mainstream science treated it as a campfire tale, a mythological placeholder for the unexplained sounds of the outback. Cryptozoologists are using side-scan sonar to map Australia's flooded limestone cave systems, stripping back the dirt to reveal massive voids beneath. Deploying remote-operated vehicles into these tunnels, They capture 4K digital reconstructions of immense skeletons and large heat signatures actively moving through the darkness. The profile emerging from this data points to an amphibious biological relic. This is a survivor of the megafauna era, built with a thick, leathery hide, equipped with sharp ivory, and identified by distinct glowing orange eyes. The investigation now focuses on locating the physical apex predator that commands Australia's deep underground. In 1954, a river levee project inadvertently moved the search from the lab to the riverbank. Workers on the site noticed an enormous shape shifting in the mud. Initially, they thought a massive boulder had been dislodged by the earth movers, until the silt actually began to breathe. An 8-foot creature lifted a blunt, hippopotamus-like head from the muck. It locked onto the crew and bared 2 sharp ivory tusks. Before the workers could react, the animal scrambled. It drove heavy, webbed paws into the mud, hauling its immense weight forward, and vanished into the turbid river water with a heavy, rhythmic splash. This encounter verified the creature's dark gray, leathery hide. It also established a critical behavioral trait. This animal was highly elusive, capable of instantaneous retreat into deep water at the first sign of human presence. In 1989, a specialized team followed the creature into its own domain. They pushed past the surface, descending into the flooded limestone shafts beneath the Nullarbor Plain. This underground system is a hostile, lightless environment. The cave divers were navigating highly pressurized, narrow rock corridors, armed with nothing but the narrow beams of their dive lights to pierce the pitch black. Deep inside one of the shafts, they caught a high-contrast silhouette. An 8-foot-long creature with slick, dark gray skin drifted into view, and 2 large orange eyes reflected the dive lights right back at them. The creature planted its immense webbed paws against the cave walls and pushed off with enough force to create a violent surge of water. The displacement nearly pinned the divers against the limestone as the animal retreated. The dive proved that the Bunyip's biology is perfectly adapted for these tight subterranean corridors. It also demonstrated that sending humans into these deep water caves to track it is dangerous and ineffective. By 2026, researchers eliminated the human risk by deploying autonomous subterranean drones directly into the black waters of the Murray-Darling cave systems. These remote-operated vehicles are purpose-built for the deep. They can smoothly navigate the dense, debris-filled stalactite mazes that would instantly trap a human diver. Deep inside a flooded cavern, a drone captured the footage researchers sought. Its high-powered floodlights snapped on, illuminating the creature in its natural habitat. The 4K camera captured pristine forensic data. The footage details a wet, shimmering leathery hide, 2 sharp, downward-facing ivory tusks, and thick-fingered webbed paws actively pushing through the cavern floor silt. This technological capture strips away the last layer of folklore, providing digital proof of its existence. Every square inch of the Australian surface has been mapped and catalogued, but directly beneath that familiar topography lies a biological world that persists beneath the surface. For the specialized museums and researchers dedicated to studying this creature, the consensus is locked. The data points to a living, breathing powerhouse, an animal that outlasted the ancient megafauna extinctions. Yet a strange hesitation remains. Mainstream science has been slow to acknowledge the physical evidence that has been steadily piling up over the last 70 years. The creature, meanwhile, continues to watch the surface world from the dark depths of undisturbed billabongs, exactly as it has for millennia. We may have surveyed the continent with our maps and our machines, but as long as those glowing orange eyes watch from the shadows, the Bunyip remains the true, undefeated master of the Australian deep.